just, oh my gosh. And then when I really knew it was real is when I seen a guy in my mirror. Hey you guys, it's Letting here, coming to do a story time with you guys about how my boyfriend was working roots on me and how I found out. So I don't know what everybody believes in, but this is what I experienced. So I hope you guys sit tight and listen. So I'll just jump right in. I had this guy that liked me for a while. He really put in the work to try to get with me, just dates. I made him wait. Ever since I had met him, I just started sleeping with him every night, but I wouldn't have sex with him. I wanted him to wait because I really liked him. So as the relationship progressed, I started finding out a lot of things about him: cheating, just all type of just different stuff, lying. That's what really did it. In the beginning, it wasn't nothing that I wanted for, nothing that, he wouldn't get from me. And he just would spoil me, and not just spoiling me, him making me laugh all the time. He was hilarious, very funny. Didn't have any kids, just, kind of on his own, a rough background. It started being a problem. He started lying and started trying to cheat and stuff like that, and then getting caught. And back then, me being the younger myself, I had to get even. Like, I would get even. So it just put a strain on our relationship and made it worse. And he was older than me. He was like 30. I was like maybe 23 at the time, if not younger. But, I would play get back and stuff like that, and I would break up and it'll be over. And the more he seemed like, dang, I'm losing this girl, I just started seeing him like his money wasn't the same no more. He just went to, I think once his money got hit, that's when he really started changing. I think he felt like he was losing me at the same time. It was making him go even, more crazy, which I had felt like at this point, I'm like, I keep trying with you, and then you out here got the nerve to be trying to cheat on me, and it just wasn't no working. Once I seen he was like lying about stuff, I just didn't care for him no more. So I kind of felt the relationship ending. By this time, we're living together. We've been together for probably like 2 years now. And somehow I come up pregnant. Now, this is one thing I tried to always make sure that this doesn't happen, because I didn't want any kids with him. I had already kind of made up my mind that I wasn't going to be with him forever. Like, this is going to end as soon as, but I end up pregnant, and I'm like, dang, like, how, when? And I know I would have arguments with him because, like, I feel like he want to try to catch me, like, I'm young, so I'm still hanging out, I'm still going to the clubs. He tried to catch me on, like, a turnt night, a drunk night, and, so I'm like, dang, that's must when it happened. And I know we would get in arguments about it. So I didn't know what was wrong with me at first. I go to the hospital and the people tell me I'm pregnant. I just broke down crying. Like, you would have thought the people death sentence. Like, I was just like hysterical. And then he was like, oh, I know you're trying to do certain things with your life. You don't have to keep the baby. I see you don't want to have the baby and stuff like that. And I'm like, like this me. Like, dang, I got caught up. And I don't know how I didn't realize I was missing my periods. When I found out, I was at least like 3 months gone, 3 or 4 months. And so it just sent me like in a depression. I felt like I was always sick, always sick. So then I gave him another chance. He still was out here trying to cheat on me, but now I'm pregnant and you trying to cheat and you getting caught. So call ourselves, gonna work it out, gonna keep the baby or whatever. I don't think he was back living with me because I hadn't made him leave, because then he hadn't started putting his hands on me and stuff. So we was really going downhill. But he started, like, I just noticed I would be so sick all the time, just feeling miserable, like sick. And then so I started noticing, like, every time he around, I'm feeling like super sick, and I would just always be hungry and wanting sweets. So then I'd be like, dang, I feel like I'm about to die. Like, something is happening. Like, this is not right. Like, this is not normal. I'm at the ending rate that I was with my twin daughters. I'm at now, I done gained a lot of weight. I'm like at the ending rate, the weight of what I was with my twin daughters. So he's still out here. He get caught trying to cheat. I go off on him. I snap on him. I'm showing out. So he didn't do nothing to me. Like, he let me show my ass and da 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 da. Later on that night, we in the house. I guess he like, oh, we in the house now. I'm finna, So when I say he pushed me like a barely a push into the wall, and my shoulder just felt like it shattered. Like, it felt like it shattered. Like, my shoulder, it won't ever look the same. Like, you can see this knot sticking out of it right here. If I hit this right now today, it hurts. But it was all type of stuff going on and taking place, and I couldn't figure out what was happening at first, but it felt like my arm shattered. And then so I didn't want him to touch me. I was like, oh, get away from me, get away from me. I was like, call the ambulance. Like, I instantly knew, like, I ain't ever felt this pain before. So he was like, no, I don't want to get in trouble. So he was trying to help me get my shirt off, and I was like, no, I don't want you to touch me, don't touch me. But I was in so much pain, I had to let him help me. And it was like, dang, like, you barely push me. Like, why am I, so I wasn't even thinking, like, it's broke, but I'm like something is something. So I go to the hospital. I get there. They say, oh, are you pregnant? I let them know, yeah, I'm pregnant. So they acting all, scared. Like, they don't want to run certain tests. They don't want to do the x-ray because they don't want to. I'm like, look, give me something. Please give me something. I'm in so much pain. Give me something. So they were like, they can't give me nothing. I'm pregnant. And then they told me they didn't see anything wrong with my arm. I'm like, it's something wrong with my arm. My arm is broken. I'm trying to tell them. So they was like, there's nothing they can give me. There's nothing they can do for me. So then we had to walk from the hospital. I called my cousin to give me a ride, but I just remember walking down the road just crying. It's at nighttime too. I'm just crying like, dang, I'm already miserable and pregnant. And then now my arm is... Okay, so now before my arm got broke, like a week or two before that, he punched, the old TVs with the hard screen in the front, like that big hard glass. He punched my TV. We got in an argument, and he cocked back and punched that TV so hard. And he punched it so hard, I thought that bit was going to shatter. I thought it was going to shatter. The TV ain't budged. It like broke his ass. So me and my best friend, my homeboy, we laughing about it. We joking about it. We like, he hit the TV thunder. So he went to the hospital. When he went to the hospital, they told him all his knuckles was broken. But the whole time, when he came from the hospital, he ain't ever act like he was in no pain. I ain't ever see him take no pain medicine. I ain't ever see him like act. He would just hold it like this, like walk around and hold it like this. They told me it was nothing wrong with my arm. It was nothing I could do. So I just went to feeling miserable. Then it's like my pregnancy just got worse. He would be trying to feed me like a food plate of Haitian food that just looked like gunk and grass and just mixed up and stirred up. And I told him, I was like, I can't eat that. Like, I'm like, where you get that from? He was like, oh, mommy cooked this up for me. Mommy made this up for you. So I'm like, I ain't even try to eat it. never touched the plate. So then, like a few days later, he tried to get me to drink like some green, it looked like weeds or roots, like grass roots, in a green, in a jar. The water looking stuff was green, and I was like, I can't drink that, I'm pregnant. Everything he would try to get me to eat, I brushed off. And then I started noticing that when he's not around me, like once we done got into it and I tell him to go home, I would be feeling better. Like I would be able to move around and keep my house up and tend to myself. And then when he would come around, I would just be so sick. Like I was feeling like, dang, it got to a point I was like, dang, either this baby not gonna make it or I'm not gonna make it. But one of us not gonna, both of us not gonna make it. And then so, sure enough, I told him, I was like, I want to get an abortion. I don't want to keep this baby. Like, I can't do it. I don't want to be a single, another baby mama again. Like, I don't want to be another baby mama. I don't want to keep this baby. He didn't have no kids. I already had twins. So it was just like, and I know I don't want to be with you. I don't even know how we got here in the relationship so over at this point. So he was like, well, okay, you seem like you made up your mind. I'm going to give you, go half with you on the money for the abortion or whatever. So I'm like, okay. Now, he hadn't gave me the money before, but I switched out. I didn't want to do it. I just didn't really want to be with him and be stuck with him because I already knew, like, you going to take me through hell. You already taking me through hell. So you really going to give me the business if I had your baby. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and get the abortion. He gave me the money. When I went to the abortion clinic, I found out I was farther along more than what I was. So my head was really messed up. And I cried like a baby. Now, it ain't no telling how long he was really doing this. Because before the pregnancy or any of that ever came about, I hadn't already started experiencing weird stuff. And then he would be stalking me too. Like he started acting weird, not dressing like he used to, not wearing no shoes, underwear, just stalking my house, like stalking, like listening through my windows, jumping through my windows while I'm at home. Like I just was like creeped out at this point. But I would see stuff, like when we was together, I started seeing stuff. But I wasn't no smoker. I started smoking weed and stuff with him. So I would be seeing stuff, laughing and joking, thinking that I'm high. I'm thinking everybody sees this type of stuff. So I told him about it one day. I'm in the room and then I would get high and I just want to lay down, or I'd be overly thinking everything funny. I want to snatch out my hair, everything when I'm high. So I'm telling him about like what I've seen and how I'm seeing like monsters and aliens and different stuff like that. And I'm laughing about it because I'm like, I'm tripping. Like, this is what people be seeing when they high. Like, I ain't scared at all because I wasn't raised in the church. I wasn't raised, the Bible was just a book. And us going to church, when I did go to church, it was to a funeral or it was with my grandma who would go every Sunday. But that's when she decided to take all of her grandbabies. But other than that, I hadn't ever went to church. I would be seeing all type of stuff, smelling stuff, like just different stuff that I didn't think nothing of it. And I had stairs in my house. I was in a 2-story house. So my stairs was right up by my bathroom door. When you walk up the stairs, it's like going right into the bathroom. And I would always hear like somebody walking up the stairs, but it always sounded like it was coming from my neighbor's house because they stairwell is right next to mine. And when I say it sounds like somebody walking up the stairs, just as clear as day, you just don't see nobody there. But I can hear them walking on the stairs. And the only thing that let me know is it wasn't my mind is one day I heard the difference of how it sound when my neighbor's actually walking up their stairs. And it was a big difference. And, so boom, now I'm pregnant. So my mom, I'm telling her about the different things that I'm experiencing. My mom told me one day, okay, put salt around your house. Now, he hadn't already been, stalking. But once my mom told me to put salt around my house, I did it, and for some reason he could not come near my house. He could not come near my house. He would have to stand. He started standing out by the side of the road. Like, I watched him stand in front of my garbage can, just stand there, just looking with his hands like on his hips, like just standing there like, damn, why can't I? Like, he just couldn't figure it out. But he couldn't stand no closer than where the garbage can is by the road. And then he started stalking from like the neighbor's house. Like, we would catch him like looking around the walls and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, he on some other junk for real. But I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Green as day to everything. So it's just all type of, at this point, I done aborted the baby. And I'm still like experiencing like different things, weird things, just bad luck in my relationship, bad things happening around me and my friends. Just a lot of bad things, certain things that I'm still afraid right now to even speak on because it has to do with other people. But I don't know right now today, to this day, why God spared me. I don't know right now today why God spared me. But just different bad things started happening to me. I started having like really wild dreams of being chased and just constantly being chased, different dreams. But whoever would be chasing me, they could not catch me. It was like I was always a few steps ahead, or just, but I remember it always felt like I was trying to get away from my life. Like, I knew my life was on the line. And I started feeling crazy. When I had certain dreams, I would see them come to pass. And I didn't know what was happening to me. It got to the point where I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. The only thing I was able to do was drink milk. And my mom was just like, well, just keep drinking milk, keep drinking milk. So I went to the hospital. And I went to the hospital like twice in 1 week. I went to the hospital twice in 1 week just for them to be like, nothing's wrong with you. And my body's just experiencing all type of things. Like, and I was losing weight quick. And then I would notice that when I would be around my girlfriend, I felt like I could not stand her. Like, I felt like I couldn't stand her, like a rage. But when I wasn't around her, I felt like I needed her, like I missed her. Like, I felt like she was the only thing I had. And then she started pushing me away in her sleep until it just got to the point where one night I just sat up. And then I woke her up. And she was like, I told her, I was like, you're pushing me again. And she was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, you pushing me in your sleep. And I just sat there and I cried. And I told her, I was like, I feel like something finna happen to me. I feel like I told her, I said, I feel like something is finna happen to me. I feel like I'm finna die or something. Like, I don't know what's happening to me. And she said, you want me to pray for you? And then I said, yeah. And no, she asked me to pray. And I told her I don't know how to pray. And she said, well, I pray for you. So she prayed for me, and I asked her what she prayed for. And she said she asked God to give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what was happening to me. And so I laid down the rest of the night and I slept. And I noticed God always showed me things in twos. 2 days later, it's like I was sitting with my friend at her house, and I was just going over with everything with her about what had happened. At this point, everybody in my family, they can tell something going on with me. They think I'm crazy, I'm suicidal. Like, I'm even seeing it's something with me, but at the point I can't control it because I'm too far gone in this, and nobody is experiencing this but me. My mama ready to have me Baker acted. I'm experiencing all type of smells, just, oh my gosh. And then when I really knew it was real is when I seen a guy in my mirror. My girlfriend hadn't already left and took the kids to school. I mean, she went to work. I was at home with the kids in the bathroom, and all of us was in the bathroom brushing our teeth. I brushed my teeth with all the kids that morning in the bathroom. And when I say I looked, just turned back around and looked in the mirror and did like a double take, and I seen a boy standing in the mirror. Like, I seen him as clear as day. I still know how this boy looked. I can see him as clear as day in my head right now today. I haven't ever seen him in person before. He looked like he could have been about 18, maybe even 17, 19. And he had dreads. He was kind of light skinned, short, had on a white tee, blue jeans. The main thing, he didn't look scary or nothing, or, like a monster or nothing. The main thing that stuck out about this boy was his eyes. His eyes said that I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a damn about me. I'm here for one thing and one thing only. So the main thing that was running through my head is, what do you want? Why are you here? You clearly not human from the way I just seen you. Even though you look normal and nobody's seeing him but me. I did a double take, and just like that, I seen this man and could tell everything about him. So at this point, I'm past being freaked out. I done experienced smells. I done everything. So I'm finally sitting up here going over everything, telling her about it with my friend. One of my friends even smelled the smell one day, and she broke down crying. I done had experienced flashing lights, and it's just like my girlfriend was ready to leave me. I was just at a point where I was just drained. And so I'm telling her about it, and it was like a light bulb just went off in my head. It was like ding, ding, ding. And it was like, this man working roots on you. This man working roots on you. And I just went to hysterically crying, telling my friend, like, oh my gosh, like, this is what been happening to me? Is this what's been going on with me? So now that I feel like this is what's happening to me, now I gotta figure out, like, what do I do? I'm to a point, they think I'm crazy, I can't even sleep. I can't eat. I've been to the hospital 2 times in 1 week. My skin peeling off my hands. It's like I was deteriorating. And so I go to church. I went to my home church where, my grandparents went, and it was on a Tuesday afternoon. It was already about the sun was getting ready to set. And I knocked on the door, and the first person came to the door. They stepped outside, and she was like, how can I help you, baby? And I was like, I believe somebody working roots on me. And she was like, you believe somebody working roots on you? And I said, yeah, I believe somebody working roots on you. And she said, you believe somebody working roots on you? That one thing, when she said, you believe somebody working roots on you, that has stuck with me since. Now I know what we believe in goes so far. It is so important based off what we believe in, man. And I don't know everything, but I have come so far. Once I found that out, I went into the church, and they prayed for me. They put me in a circle, and all the women, they was having Bible study. They knew who my grandparents was. It's like they welcomed me with open arms. They prayed for me, and it's like after that day, everything church was having, I was part of it. Sunday school, Bible study, church on Sunday, I was there. It's like I just went there being hungry for God, eating God up. I got my Bible real heavy. I would listen to the pastor when he talking, but more than anything, I would read my Bible at home. And that's where I really got to learn about God. But it's one thing to be scared into God than naturally just growing up and being raised to know and love and have a relationship with God. I was scared into God. I ran to God because I was scared of something. And I end up fearing God. I learned the fear of God by being scared of something else, that once I realized this ain't got nothing on God. This ain't got nothing on God. And man, it's so much to this story. Like, I know I can't even get it all out right now. Like, I don't wish that on anybody. Once God really got me where he wanted me, I just felt like I went through so many different processes of spirituality until I had to just be completely obedient. Like, I stopped cursing. I didn't ever know what it meant when, they would say, oh, you got to be reborn again, or you be reborn again. To be reborn again, I felt like I didn't used to know what they was talking about. I'm like, how you gonna be a baby again? How you gonna be born again? No, it feels like being just a whole new life. Like, you're no more of what you were in the past. I stopped cursing. It was just things I couldn't even connect to no more. So God really got me where He wanted me. I just felt like I went through so many different processes of spirituality until I had to just be completely obedient. Like, I stopped cursing. I didn't ever know what it meant when, they would say, oh, you got to be reborn again, or you be reborn again. To be reborn again, I felt like I didn't used to know what they was talking about. I'm like, how you gonna be a baby again? How you gonna be born again? No, it feels like being just a whole new life. Like, you're no more of what you were in the past. I stopped cursing. It was just things I couldn't even connect to no more. And then I'm not knocking nobody, because I'm in a place where people can believe what they want to believe, and I only really have control over what I do with my soul and the choices I make to do with my soul and my life and my morals. So people gonna do what they want to do. You want to live a lifestyle, live it. I'm not here to judge you. I can't judge you. I'm not God. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? God is the only one that can judge us. But as for me, I won't ever go down that road again. I will not ever date another girl. And one thing I learned by dating girls and just being in that lifestyle and being around enough girls who are lesbian or studs and stuff like that, is so much trauma. I feel like if you gay because you were raped and you became traumatized and that kind of got put on you, that's another thing I used to know what they were talking about. Oh, it's the spirit, it's the spirit. Yes. Yes. And when I say I have struggled to move that off of me, to the point I don't feel interested in men, to the point where I have to fight off temptations all the time, and temptations are constantly thrown in my face. It's constantly presented, but I have to be strong and not walk in my flesh in that way. I have enough ways of walking in my flesh, living fleshly every day. Every day I gotta ask God to forgive me. Every day. I know none of us perfect. But when in that Bible, when it say it's an abomination in itself, living that lifestyle. It ain't gonna ever be balanced. It ain't gonna ever be even. I don't care how happy their relationship look. I don't care what they got. I don't care. I ain't going for it. I done been in it too long. I done been around it too long. All I see is low self-esteem, mental trauma, and abuse. To me, anybody who want to dress like the opposite sex, who has did something traumatizing to them, you need some counseling. And the worst thing you can do is take that on into somebody else's life. Why do gay people want to get with straight people? Why do you want to why would you not want to get with somebody who's already like you? Why do you want to turn someone into something that they're not naturally in? wouldn't you really be worried about, like, dang, what if I turn them out and then they're not really like that and they go back the other way? Nah, I don't think she was really concerned with it. I think it's like connecting to a healthy host. And I feel like a lot of these stud women, they be fighting that battle. They fighting a battle. When they had their girlfriends, especially the ones who low-key envious and jealous of their girlfriends, and their girlfriends don't even know it, and they wishing they can really... I'm just gonna say, do what you want to do. God got all of us. We all got a choice to make. We all got a position to play. And I feel like we all God's children. Gay, straight, purple, yellow. You know, nobody, everybody, but we God's children. He created us. And we're part of his creation. But it's a lot of us that are under spiritual attack, spiritual warfare, that we do not know how to fight. But we naturally have the God-given tools. And a lot of us don't know how to spiritually fight. And I feel like I had to go through what I feel like God allowed me to go through that, to show me that he's real and that he's here. We always got him. And I have not been the same since then. I have not been the same since then. I don't wish that on nobody. Because of that, though, I know who God is. I have a relationship with God. Whether I drop down on my knees or whether I read that Bible every day, I know who God is. And then I see so much now, so many things that it's crazy out here. It's like the 3D world ain't got nothing on the spiritual realm.